You know we're about instruction, so this is like a parade, and as the flag moves forward, that's when your hand goes up as the flag comes close. All right. Mr. Boyce.
Okay, I'll begin with a poem that I wrote. The sons of liberty stood their ground, buying our freedom with their all. Today, their spirit lives in those who respond to freedom's call. If Madison, Adams, and Franklin could join us here today, they'd look around at all of us, and here's what I think they'd say. We're glad to see defenders of the Constitution we created. Aside from a few amendments, the document is as we stated. The Constitution's meaning doesn't change with the daily news. It does not bow to the worldly whims of pundits and gurus. It's based on irrefutable truths, proved by history, not debate. Democracies all consume themselves, tyranny their fate, but we are a republic ruled by law, not mortal men. Our sacred Constitution, free men's duty to defend. So as we gather around this liberty tree, our freedoms to discuss, let's reaffirm our nation's pledge that an almighty God we trust. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard, post colors. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of our country, salute. Color guard dismissed.
Thank you all. Thank you for coming here, but most importantly, just thank you for loving our country, for loving the Constitution, for attending the classes, faithfully learning, studying, participating. Some of you, I remember from the 3 different classes, in each class, or at least 1 or 2 that just asked these really hard questions. I would always hesitate to call on them, but just teaching these classes has just been such a blessing. I've just, after a day of working or campaigning or whatever I'm doing, I just look forward to teaching the classes. It's like coming home. People are just responsive and interested and passionate and patriotic. It's just been such a blessing. Mainly, we want to celebrate your graduation. Main thing I want to do is encourage all of you that now that you know this information, you understand the principles, and for the benefit of those that are new, that have come as guests, that have been hearing about the courses and wondering what's it all about, what's going on, and then you were talking to coming to this graduation, just to go over the bedrock principle that we're founded on. You could think of the Declaration of Independence as a true preamble to the Constitution, that it sets forth the basic premise on which America is built, how America became a light on a hill for the rest of the world. It's in the second line of the Declaration of Independence: we hold these truths to be self-evident, no debate, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator, God, with certain unalienable rights. Unalienable because they come from God, not government that can take them away again. But among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And originally the founders debated, they were saying life, liberty, and property, but pursuit of happiness was more all-inclusive. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that governments are instituted among men to secure these rights, meaning the sole purpose of government is just protect our God-given rights, and other than that, stay off our backs and out of our pockets, don't micromanage our lives, just protect our rights and leave us be. That governments are instituted among men to secure these rights, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. We, the people, receive our rights from God. We delegate authority to form a government to protect those rights and nothing more. For we, the people, formed the state governments formed the federal government, not the other way around. So now that we have this understanding, not just of these bedrock principles, but of how it was now codified into a law to chain down the government with the chains of the Constitution, to just that premise, just protect our rights. As issues come up that we can see are running contrary to those principles, contrary to the Constitution, contrary to the best interests of America, contrary to our children, to our grandchildren and their future liberty, it behooves us, now that we have that information, just take a stand, to not be timid. You know, from the first class, you knew more than 90% of those that are in elected office, just from that first class. Just to understand those basic principles, you already knew it. There's a verse, I believe it's in Isaiah, where to know what is right and not to do it is sin. So you have a responsibility. It wasn't just a matter of gaining information and now you know something that others don't know. You have a responsibility to take a stand on that information. You're a watchman on the wall, watchman on the tower. When you see something's not right, speak up. Edmund Burke said, "To remain silent in the face of evil makes cowards of men." So when we see something's not right, don't be a coward. Stand up, say something about it. I was so proud. And that Monday night at the Elmer Moose Lodge, that's where it was, in so many different places. The Elmer Moose Lodge at the Tea Party Town Hall.
Woodstown Moose Hall.
What did I say?
Elmer.
Okay. Like I said, we've been in so many places. Woodstown Moose Lodge.
There you go.
But Frank Loviando was there at a town hall meeting, and I guess a couple of dozen people lined up to ask questions, and probably at least half were students in the Constitution class. And I was just so proud. Each one, as they got up, they were respectful, well-mannered, but they would ask a question, a very direct question, based on the Constitution. They're quoting the Constitution, this amendment or this, this article. And each time they'd ask a question, Catherine and I were sitting in the front row, and each time they'd ask him a hard question about the Constitution, he'd kind of look at me like for help. Hey, you're right, you're wrong up there. But I was just so proud of each of you. It's been such a blessing to teach the course, to get to know all of you. I don't know all your names. Catherine knows all your names. We know all your names and all your faces, but we don't have the names and the faces together necessarily. So if you say hi, and we don't say hi Peter or hi Catherine, and we don't know your name, don't feel slighted, because it's just there's a lot of you. This group is a liberal politician's worst nightmare. This is going to totally upset the apple cart. To have people that actually know what the Constitution says, actually knowing what the Constitution says, you don't have to know what all the issues are and all the details of all the issues. You can deal with them as they come up. A new issue comes up, and you look at it and relate it to the Constitution. You know exactly where that politician should be on that issue based on the Constitution. And they start to give you some baloney. You can see right through it. So you've got a power, you've got a strength that the average citizen doesn't have. And so it's incumbent on you to exercise that responsibility. I mean, that's ultimately why we're here, why we originally took the course, why each of us have gotten involved in our own ways, was our personal sense of responsibility kicking in. We see that things aren't right with the country. We're moving in the wrong direction, and we've come up to the plate to do what we can to try to turn things around. And the smart thing was to get educated first, and now we've got some real ammunition to fight back.